Hello everyone, Sheek here with another Transformers review, and today I will be reviewing a knockoff of G1 Devastator, which is much smaller than the original figure. They call it Construction, and there it is, Construction, and there's all the robots, and they call them feeding, building, feeding, picking, sanitation, ravage, and disguise. And all the instructions are on the back of the packaging. Of course, this is Scrapper, Long Haul, Bone Crusher, Hook, or is that one Bone Crusher? I always get Bone Crusher and Scavenger. Scavenger, Hook, Bone Crusher, and Mixmaster. Of course, they can't call it Devastator, because if they did, then that would be copyright infringement and all that. And as you can see, it is not a Decepticon emblem. It is roughly shaped like one. If I like this thing enough, I might swap them out for some repro labels. But as you can see, very simple, very simplified. So we'll see how this holds up. So here we have them in the combined mode. Yeah, it definitely feels kind of flimsy in hand. I did get a third, or a knockoff of Fortress Maximus, way smaller, but that one actually did hold together, but it's because it's pretty much a scaled down version and simplified version of the original figure, whereas this one is the same, but because G1 Devastator didn't seem to hold together the best, simplifying it and making it have cheaper materials, probably not going to work out as well. But as you can see, has about the same amount of articulation as G1 Devastator. You do get arm rotation at the shoulders, although as you can see, that just pops off really easily. Just rotate that back on, and you do have a little bit of bend at the elbow. And then, as you can see, this arm popped off. Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead and get this back on. But as you can see, he is pretty flimsy. And then this right here on Scrapper is super loose. It does not kind of thunk into place at all. It just flops. So you kind of have to rely on Mixmaster to hold him up. Fortunately, since there's no articulation at all on the legs on G1 Devastator, you don't have to worry about, I don't know, bending his legs or anything. He's pretty much, G1 Devastator is pretty much a statue. So yeah, let's go ahead and get him into his individual components. Oh, I guess one last thing. Let's just go ahead and take a look at the detail on the face. It doesn't look too bad, except his neck seems to be sticking up a little bit higher. He does have a gun on the side of his head, which you can just pull out. So it just looks like the normal Devastator head. And then it is completely hollow. And then Hook's hook does move up, but it does not extend. It's just one piece. So that's one thing that they also simplified. And on the back, he does look, yeah. Anyway, yeah, if you're going for accuracy to G1 Devastator, I'd say he's pretty close. So let's look at them all separated. So what you want to do, of course, is something that it already started to do on itself, is just pretty much take off the arms. Yeah, this one you don't want to twist because it's a tab. On the original Devastator, it's like a metal tab, and that goes in there so it's sturdier. And then you pull this off. Just rotate that off. It's on a peg. Pull off hook. And then, just like on G1 Devastator, this is just one separate piece. Although I think this did a little extra. And you pull this off right here. And then this one was always weird. And even on the G1 the reissue that I got from Walmart, even that had a hard time staying on, but at least it didn't feel this flimsy. And then you just pull down on that, and there we have them in the component parts. And let's just go ahead and take off the arms if they didn't already come off. And then the hands also don't come off on this. On G1 Devastator, you could remove them. You could put like drills or missiles. Let's rotate down the camera. So yeah, there's Bone Crusher right here. Doesn't I guess they didn't give them all an individual robot mode, but let's go ahead and set him off to the side. Hook, you just go ahead and collapse back in. And there we have a little crane. Set that off to the back. And long haul, just pretty much. Oh yeah, and then you also want to pull this off right there. And then you have a dump truck. And then for Scrapper, just rotate his arms around. Doesn't look like his head goes in at all. It's just a flat piece. Flip that down. Oh, look, it looks like there's another gun on here. Just flip this up in there. Get this positioned however you want. It is also one solid piece, so you can't position the scoop how you'd like. And then Mixmaster, just pull down and collapse in. Come on, collapse. Yeah, I think it's collapsed all the way in, but it's a little hard to tell. Okay, well that's close enough. And at least that spins, even though he has no tires really to speak of. Just mold it in. And then of course you can take off this. I don't think there's any really storage referenced for them. It just has them separate, and also it shows them on the back, each having their own individual robot modes, but I highly doubt that they gave them their own robot modes. Alright, after seeing how much of a hot mess he is, yeah, they don't really have their own robot modes, disappointingly. I call BS on this backing. That is nothing at all like the figures on there. Yeah, I was expecting to be simplified and all that, and honestly, I was telling myself, yeah, it's probably gonna be a hot piece of garbage, but I was thinking in the sense of falling to pieces, although to be fair, it is kind of falling to pieces already. But yeah, Mixmaster is probably the closest to being able to have his standalone robot mode, only because he forms the foot and it can provide, you know, a way for him to stand, and there's his molded in head, but no arms really to speak of because they're stuck to his sides. So yeah, that's for him. Bone Crusher, yeah, he's pretty much a solid piece of plastic, with the exception being of this right here that you'd flip up for transformation, and then there's his molded in head, which seems kind of pointless considering, you know, no individual robot modes. Hook, yeah, he also has a robot mode head. I mean, I guess you could pretend these are arms, but you can't flip this down at all. You can't, I mean, I guess you can stand them up. So I guess Hook and Mixmaster kind of sort of have robot modes, somewhat passively. As you can see, Long Haul barely has a molded face, although you can't rotate his legs because it's just a solid mass of plastic. But I guess you could stand him up and pretend that his arms, which you can see his hands, you can see his arms, like you can see they molded it in, but they do not rotate at all as far as I could tell. And I feel like if I try, it's just gonna snap because I think it's just one solid piece of plastic pretty much, unless they rotate together on both sides as one solid piece. Yeah, and no, I don't believe so. I just think it's one solid piece. So yeah, if you want to display him as a little robot, I guess you can try to get him to stand like that, but his hands are up in the air. And he's just pretty much trying to stand up a truck. Scavenger, I thought maybe he would work, because they do have the flip down legs, which I think is silly. Why have those if you don't have anything else? But you can't do anything with the feet, so I mean, I guess you can maybe try to stand him up like this and use this kind of as a prop. So I guess in a sense he has a robot mode, sort of, but no arms, and then there's his head. Just looks really horrible. But I mean, what do you expect from a cheap knockoff? And then yeah. Last one. He actually looks the most passably for having a robot mode, except for the fact that this is a solid piece of plastic, so you can't rotate his legs out. If it wasn't for this part for combination, you can't really stand him up. I mean, I guess you can have him leaning back, but that's no way to display a robot. Anyway, as far like from a distance, they don't look too bad in their vehicle modes. And so, I mean, it is like kind of from a distance, somewhat passable Devastator set, but yeah, lots of shortcomings, lots and lots of shortcomings. So if you want to display them as the vehicles or their combined form as Devastator, then I suppose this might be somewhat beneficial, but I think it's such a hunk of junk. I'm probably not even going to bother trying to put repro labels on it, because that'd just be a waste of perfectly good repro labels. So that's about it for this knockoff construction, knockoff of G1 Devastator that I just happened to find in a random gift shop and could not help but purchase. If you like this review and you'd like to see more reviews of horrible figures because you want to see me just completely destroy them verbally, not literally, because I kind of can't help it. There is a slight little bit of garbagey, trashy charm, like one of those carnival toy type feels to him. So yeah, anyway, like I said, if you like this and you'd like to see more, please click that like and subscribe button to see more. Until next time, have a good one, everyone.